my first time watching both shows back to back.
And I do like the idea of what they're doing with Seth Rollins now. That they brought out Triple H to tell him, no, we don't do automatic rematches anymore. You have to earn them, basically. That's basically what I thought he was saying in that segment. And then Seth Rollins was like, careful. Okay, remember 2 years ago when I whooped your ass?
Well, he didn't even really bring it up like that. It was just Triple H. It was Triple H who brought up the fact that he beat his ass. And he's like, yeah, it wasn't just me picking you. It was me. I saw something in you that you could be the man. And then I definitely was reminded of that when I fought you at WrestleMania.
And then Seth Rollins was bringing up, bringing the old Seth Rollins back.
You want me to be? He's like, you want me to be the bastard? And Triple H just simply respond, yes. It's like, all right. And this segment, part of the segment cracked me up because the crowd was getting really into it, getting into Triple H and Seth really getting at each other.
And then out comes Shane.
No, not even
we're not there yet.
It was just the second. It's like as of recently, I haven't seen that fire in you. It's like, and then Seth's like, what are you talking about? I had Raw on my shoulders for this entire year. It's like, well, I want to see that Seth Rollins again with you fighting Bobby Lashley. Like, yeah. Oh, really? Bobby Lashley? Oh, is that what you...
But then,
then when
you actually got to that match and the ending of that match, it's like, oh shit, bastard's coming out. Because he went to town on Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush with those chairs because Leo Rush kept getting involved. And you could just see it. Every time Leo Rush got involved, Seth the bastard would peek out just a little bit. And then just
and then the ending came and he was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. Grabs a steel chair, wails Bobby Lashley with it, wails Leo Rush with it. Back and forth, and one hell of a curb stomp to Leo Rush.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, if this is how they're going to build him up for a potential Universal Championship match at WrestleMania, okay, as of right now, I'm in. I'm completely in.
That is definitely the one thing that I definitely got from this is especially with Triple H's him with Triple H in their promo. At first, he was just simply asking for an Intercontinental Championship rematch. But when Triple H came out and reminded us who Seth Rollins, what he did, what he was the face of the Authority, he was the face of Raw, and Triple H saying, I haven't seen that in you, and the fact that Seth Rollins keeps bringing up Brock, while he's working in week in and week out, showing that he is the best on that Monday Night Raw has to offer. Brock Lesnar is nowhere to be found. He keeps bringing up Brock Lesnar. So they're definitely planting something there. Mm-hmm. And with the rumor going around of what Vince McMahon wants as the Universal title match at Mania and what Triple H wants as the Universal title match at Mania, this Raw definitely kept both of them going, where I'm just like, okay, the winner of the Royal Rumble this year is definitely going to be a Raw guy. It's just a question
it's basically between two guys. Really.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, the next main focus that was really on Raw, other than Ronda Rousey, because who wants to talk about Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina as the main event of the show.
I felt myself getting more and less interested as you were going down the names. So Ronda Rousey, yay.
And Natalya.
Okay. Nia Jax.
Tamina. Oh. That closed out the show. At that point, I'm just like, I'm watching. I'm like, okay, I already read the spoiler. I know what happens.
At that point, I'm like, okay. I like the fact that women are getting the main event now. Okay, but some matches don't deserve it. Okay. And this is one of them. I think you should have closed this off I think the best thing you could have done to close this off was the Intercontinental title match.
And that's perfect segue. Is the next best thing that happened on Raw was the storyline of the Intercontinental Championship, where when Shane McMahon came out to end the Triple H Seth Rollins segment, he announced it's a refreshing
the fresh start Royal.
Battle Royal. That's what it was called. And of course, like, people are into it. And then Baron Corbin eliminated Finn Balor, and that took people out of it.
Yeah.
And then Apollo Crews said fuck it and started eliminating everybody.
Yeah, I think it was like a 15-man Battle Royal. And he eliminated 8 of them.
He eliminated 8 guys. And it was one of those things like, okay, like halfway through, I'm like, okay, Apollo Crews is eliminating everybody. He's going to get that. He's going to be that guy who gets eliminated by like 4 people. Mm-hmm. 4 people gang up on Apollo Crews and take him out. And then, no, he just kept eliminating people.
And he eventually won the match.
I do like one thing that has nothing to do with Apollo Crews. I did like that they gave Kurt Hawkins the almost whoop-de-doo on Baron Corbin. I'm like, is that a sign that maybe something might happen with Kurt Hawkins?
Being one of the final 3 in a battle royal for the Intercontinental Championship,
and actually looking like you could eliminate the biggest guy in.
No, he didn't.
He did for me.
All he did was throw a couple punches. Baron threw him out. Hawkins just grabbed him, looked like he was about to drag him, and then Corbin was just like, "Oh wait, yeah, this is Kurt Hawkins. Get up!" and just threw him out.
At the beginning, when he first got him in the headlock, when I was like, "Is this going to be a Chris Benoit moment? Chris Benoit Big Show? Or is that what they're trying to do here?"
That would seem more like a Sandow Big Show moment.
And then it turned, and then it became a Sandow
Big Show Sandow moment.
I was like, it started off with my hope that it was a Benoit Big Show moment, and then it turned into a Sandow Big Show moment. So, but the fact is, ending it up, Apollo Crews is your number 1 contender, and it's like, oh.
Okay.
Oh,
maybe. And my immediate response to it is like, as much as I did want Finn Balor to win this, because rumors going around that he is planning on getting a big push for 2019, I'm actually pretty glad he didn't win this, because Dean Ambrose versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship, save that for a pay-per-view, man.
Yeah,
that's a good match, and this one was definitely, as the title game for the Battle Royal, it was a fresh start for Apollo Crews. And then when it came to the Intercontinental Championship match itself, it was actually a really good match between the two.
The match itself was good. Yes. But it was also one where I felt the result was never in doubt.
Oh. It was just...
It was one of those... It was like that house show feel, where they do the Battle Royal, and then in the main event they have the match.
That was a house show.
I mean,
this whole Intercontinental Championship storyline actually was the storyline of a house show this past weekend.
Exactly,
it was at the one at Madison Square Garden.
It's been the storyline.
It was the exact same thing, except on the house show. I don't know if they announced this on TV, but they said they're doing something new with Battle Royals, where they're now adding pinfalls to it. And now instead of throwing them out in the room, you can pin your opponent.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
That's stupid.
I don't like it either. But
that's one of the.
They didn't announce it on Raw, so I guess it's just an experiment that they did in the house show. People didn't like it, so they're like, okay,
yeah.
It was an attempt. All right, moving on.
But basically, it's a house show trope, really. When they do the Battle Royal at the beginning of the show for the number 1 contendership to whatever title, and then they have that as the main event. So whenever I see it on a main show, okay, there's no suspense in the actual match. It's like they're not changing the title. This is house show trope.
This was, like I said, this was the exact thing of what it is. It's a fresh start. 2019 may be actually something big for Apollo Crews.
Yeah,
this,
it does.
This definitely does look like they do have some plans for him, and hopefully it will, because I've said it before. I like the guy. He should have spent more time in NXT to actually, develop a character instead of being all smiles. But maybe this is it. Maybe this is his time to actually develop something more than just happy-go-lucky Apollo.
But being with Titus, okay, at least for the beginning of that, when he was showing personality as the guy with Titus, it's like before that, I'm like, this dude is wooden. Like, he's got the skills. He's got the skill set. But
he's just not a character.
He doesn't have a character. He doesn't do anything for me. And then he got with Titus, and I'm like, ooh, okay. There's something here. But he's with Titus and Dana fucking Brooke. So, okay, you're not going anywhere here. But what this does is get Apollo Crews in your mind. Mm-hmm. It's like he wasn't there before. Okay, he was out of...
Now when you think of Apollo, like, before when you thought of Apollo Crews, he was just a jobber. Now this maybe is like, okay, he had his time. Now they actually have something for him. Maybe this is a push to something greater for him.
What I do like about he got all of his moves in, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But he did all this flashy stuff. I don't like another trope. Okay, the person gets the shit kicked out of him for basically the entire match. Okay, then you hit then he hits a random out of nowhere finisher, and boom, 1, 2, 3 is done. I mean, like, it's nice that they're putting like the dirty deeds as one of those finishers. Like, hey, you're not gonna kick out of this. Mm-hmm. It's cool that they're giving it that. Like that RKO feel, like it could come out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. That kind of deal. I like that. But if you're trying to get me invested in Apollo Crews, him being on the offensive for 7 minutes and then going down to one finisher isn't gonna help your case. That's it.
It's actually kind of funny because I'm kind of saying the same thing with Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose right now hasn't. Hopefully, the 2019 may be something for him, but it's like I said in the past. He hasn't had that moment where, yeah, he's one of the main events of the show, but he's not the star. He's not he's not one of the stars. He's just an attraction.
Well, it's the problem with the storyline that he was given. In that they had something big, okay? The way he turned on Seth Rollins, that week, okay? He was the only thing people were talking about. It would have been so easy. It was so easy, okay? You didn't have to do anything. He was the guy that people most hated because of what he did when he did it. Okay? Just continue with that. Just keep going on that path.
Now
okay?
He's just...
You would have... If you keep going on that path, okay, greatness. Storyline, greatness. Okay? But people complained with that promo.
We're in a time where everyone is offended by something.
Okay, people complained, and because people complained, now we've got Bane. We've got Bane Ambrose. So
well, here's the thing: Bane Ambrose would actually be pretty awesome because when you think of Bane,
except he's not.
Here's how if you're calling him Bane Ambrose, he's Bane from Batman and Robin. Bane.
Yeah,
he's not Bane that is super smart, super tactical, figured out who Batman is just from all this and breaking Batman's back. He's
because the problem is, okay, he could be.
He's trying so hard. He's like
the problem is he could be that Bane. He could be the Dark Knight Rises Bane. He could be. It's Dean Ambrose. We've heard